Wow, you guys really liked that Kurama what if? Well, since y'all are basically forcing me to, and because you're all such a wonderful group of peeps, maybe I can, continue the story a little bit. Alright, fine. I was secretly hoping you guys would want a second part, and so I'm honored to continue the story. The story of the Nine Tails and its bond with others, the love it shares, and a desire to once more return to the people it had once known. I won't kill you with a long-winded opening, so instead, why don't we get right down to business? Sure, this is such a good idea, Kurama asked. The little blonde kid looked exactly like his father, but there was no doubt that he was a mama's boy. Today was April 1st, and you know what that meant. It was time to play some pranks. Naruto had been out since midnight, having snuck out of his room, and even now the sun was beginning to rise, and they were almost finished. If you didn't want to be a part of it, you should have stopped me before I left, the boy said. Would you have stopped if I had? Kurama asked. Naruto thought about it for a moment before laughing. No, I guess I wouldn't have. Naruto pulled away from the Hokage's monument. He'd been nervous for how it might turn out, but it seemed there was an artistic streak in Naruto, and he was more than able to pull off this prank alone. Wow, you actually made it look good. How did you do that? Kurama asked. A little practice, Naruto said. And as the sun rose and the villagers awakened, they saw what transpired. Upon each of the statues of the Hokage monument, there was a wild and detailed mustache painted on, bushy toward the lip, but turning into a curl at the edges of the mouth. It looked like some mustache from an old silent film about a villain tying a damsel in distress to a railway. All 6 faces were possessing a mustache, including Fugaku and Minato's faces. As Naruto admired the craftsmanship of his art in the newly risen sun, casting a bright yellow upon the rock face that had almost a green tint to it, he heard a voice cry out, "Hey, you! We've been made, Kurama! Let's get!" Naruto began to run away from the scene of the crime, but of course he would be caught. Before being brought before the Hokages, the shinobi accused Naruto of defacing the monument honoring greatness in a prank that went too far. Fugaku was not happy, of course. As a man with great pride in the village, he went to scold Naruto, but Minato stopped him. "It's okay, Fugaku. He is my son. I will handle his disobedience properly. I just wish to speak with him alone." Fugaku held his tongue and sighed. "I suppose this is a family matter as much as it is a village matter. You take the lead, but make sure things get set right, okay?" Minato nodded. Fugaku left the room, closing the door behind him. "Naruto!" Minato shouted, attempting to get his son's attention. Naruto, having flinched at the shouting of his name, turned toward his father. "Naruto, what you did today was wicked sick! How did you pull it off?" Naruto smiled. "It's something I've been planning for a while. I've been watching lots of videos about window cleaning for large buildings, like for skyscrapers." Note from us here at the Amagi. We probably don't have to tell our viewers this, but don't try any of this stuff you see on YouTube at home. Naruto's a real ninja who cut the moon in half. You are not. Remember to stay safe and not do anything nearly as dangerous as Naruto. Minato chuckled. "Well, I think it's a pretty good prank. Reminds me of something your mother would do." Naruto scratched the back of his head. "Well, I mean..." Minato shook his head. "Don't tell me. This was her idea?" Naruto shrugged. "I keep forgetting that since you two both now share Kurama, that you can talk to each other telepathically. Well, anyway, it's a good prank, but it will need to be cleaned up. You can enjoy it for today, but tomorrow, when you're rested enough, you gotta get out there and scrub it all off. Sound fair?" Naruto nodded. Minato smiled. Now, off to school. Naruto would race off to the academy. "Naruto, are you sure you're gonna be able to handle school? You haven't slept in over 24 hours. "I'll be fine," Naruto said. Naruto slept through half the classes. When the final bell went off, he grabbed his bag and prepared for the last thing. It was a sort of after-school program he was a part of. Not exactly like he wanted to do anything else, but his mom kind of forced him, since she was, after all, the head of the program. Last to arrive, same as ever, Naruto stepped in and saw some of his other classmates there. Sasuke, Sakura, Shikamaru, Ino, Choji, Hinata, Shino, and Kiba. And with Naruto there, that made 9. Sitting in the room, which was little more than a repurposed supply closet that Kushina had redecorated to give the impression that it was quaint and cozy, as opposed to just the school not having enough funds to allocate the creation of a new classroom. "Welcome, Naruto. You seem tired," Kushina said. "Too many April Fool's pranks wear you out?" she asked, tongue-in-cheek. Naruto took a seat. Kushina smiled. I'm happy to announce that my monitoring for an after-school Jinchuriki club was approved by the Hokages. Wasn't hard, I'm sure. One of them's your husband, Shikamaru said. Yes, that is true. However, Sasuke's dad also seemed to agree with it. It's a good idea for you kids to get to know your tailed beasts better, and to get to know each other. These beasts are more than a tool to the village, they're its greatest allies, and to be a Jinchuriki is a high honor. Not only do you have the unique position of being able to protect your village, you also get the privilege of getting to know, bond with, and befriend these intelligent and kind beasts. Kurama, would you like to take over? Kushina asked. Kurama appeared on Naruto's shoulder and jumped to Kushina's lap where he sat. Greetings, I'm Kurama, the nine-tailed fox, and I'm just gonna start by saying it's an honor to get to meet you all. I'm sure you're all gonna take good care of my brethren. Due to your statuses as Jinchuriki, you're free to, at any time, enter your own subconscious and speak with your beast. But even further, we tailed beasts can grant you access to our subconsciousnesses. This allows you not only to talk to your own tailed beast, but also the tailed beasts of others, and their Jinchuriki as well. In doing so, you'll get to know your beast, its quirks, and how to make friends with them. I'm sure you all know them pretty well by this point, as you were specifically chosen for them, the 8 greatest candidates. But now I wish to show you how to deepen your relationship. Now, to begin, we attempt an exercise. I know this may be hard for some of you, but do your best, okay? Start by closing your eyes and emptying your minds. Each member of the club began to do this, as did Kushina. Kurama spoke. Now, turn your perception inward. Search for that chakra inside of you that's not you, but swirling around your own. Do you sense it yet? Each member nodded. Good, now focus on it. Reach out to it and merge with it. And in a moment, each student opened their eyes to see that they were within a very strange area. It was dark all around, illuminated by some invisible spotlight that they could not see. All 9 children and their chaperone were standing in a circle, and behind them was the large form of their tailed beast. Whoa, this is trippy, Kiba said as he looked at the 8-armed octopus ox behind him. This is the meeting place, Kurama said. This is the place where only the most trusted Jinchuriki are usually allowed to visit. But considering that you're all just starting out, this makes for a good show of trust. We trust that you each will treat us with respect and kindness, Kurama said. Now why don't we focus on the bond between Beast and Jinchuriki? We'll start from 1 tail and move to 9. Sound good? They nodded. Shukaku, why did you choose Shikamaru to be your Jinchuriki? I chose him because he's super smart. He reminds me of myself in that way. And like me, he was the best of the 9. This drew a bit of annoyance from the other beasts, but they let it go. And you, Matatabi? Kurama asked. The flaming cat behind Sasuke began to rub up against Sasuke. He's a cat person, I can tell, she purred. I also like how he sometimes wears kitty ears with his pajamas as he goes to bed at night. Sometimes he stands in front of a mirror and goes, Nyan. You wear kitty ears? Choji asked with a chuckle. Ino and Sakura both smacked Choji in the back of the head. Leave him alone! They then seemed to kinda push up against Sasuke. Oh, it's so sweet. He's got such a kind heart. I don't do that, Sasuke shouted, all the while growing red. It was then that Kurama moved to the next. And you, Isobu? The mollusk, one eye closed, seemed to draw close to Sakura. She's so strong. She's kind to me, and I know she'll take care of and protect me, he said. Sakura began to stroke his head as it rubbed up against her before kissing it. This drew a smile from Kurama. Isobu might be the closest to understanding what it means to have a Jinchuriki, he thought. He turned to Son Goku. And what about you, Goku? Why did you choose Choji? The mighty monkey pounded its chest. Choji is the strongest. Nobody can push him around. When he sets his mind to it, he will do something. He's a real man. All the others around covered their ears due to the overwhelming sound of the tailed beast's voice. Everyone but Choji, who didn't want to risk missing a single word of praise from his tailed beast. He flipped a potato chip up into the air. Son Goku grabbed it and stuffed it into his face. Next was Kokuo. I chose Ino because of her grace. She's like a flower in that way, beautiful and majestic, kinda like me. But also like me, she has a bit of a temper that boils like water on the flames of passion. I can't help but identify. Then Saiken went. I like Hinata because she's soft-spoken. She's very anxious, but like me, she likes to calm down with a nice bubble bath with lavender-scented soap. I never have to buy shampoo so long as Saiken's around, Hinata said. It sounds like some of you have been bonding already. I'm glad to hear it, Kurama said. Chome, you're up. Chome spoke. He likes bugs. Below, Shino spoke. I like bugs. We're a match made in heaven, Chome finished off. Kurama chuckled.
The Aburame clan has always been good with insects, and you being an insect yourself really does seem like you match with him the best.
All the bugs under his skin are so nice, Chome said. They're very small, but very powerful. Shino has lots and lots of control over his chakra and his body. He has to, because if he didn't, he might accidentally kill the other bugs inside of him. Kurama smiled.
I'm glad you two mesh so well, but let's give Gyuki a turn.
Kurama turned to the Eight Tails.
What do you like about Kiba?
Gyuki sat there for a second.
Well, I'm not sure what to say about him. I got last pick.
That goes for the two of us, Kiba said.
Now, don't be like that, you two, he said. What may seem like a bad pairing at first sometimes becomes the best. You just have to be open. Come on, there's gotta be something you like about each other.
Gyuki thought for a second.
No, not really.
I kinda wish you were a dog, Kiba tacked on. Kurama let out a sigh.
Looks like these two have a lot to work on, he said. Well, let's all begin. Take some time and spend it with your beast. Even if you don't think you've got much in common, try to bond. Do something together. Talk. Do anything constructive.
At the end of the day, though, Kiba and Gyuki never really seemed to hit it off. And so, as they began to head home, Kurama stopped Kiba and Gyuki.
You two, let me speak with you before you leave.
The two stopped and looked at him.
What is it, Kurama?
Gyuki asked.
You two seem to be the ones having the hardest time hitting it off, he said. I suggest that you go out on the town tonight.
I don't know if I can. I've got a lot of homework to do, Kiba said. I can handle getting you out of that, Kushina said. What's important is that you two build up your bond. Kurama nodded.
I'm sure there's a lot you two have in common. You just have to find it.
Kurama then spoke.
Remember when you first started bonding with Akamaru, Kiba? Well, do the same thing here, but with Gyuki instead.
Kiba nodded. Gyuki seemed skeptical.
You'll do fine, Gyuki. Just go out and have some fun. Maybe stop by an arcade, try out some of those retro video games. With as many tentacles as you've got, I'm sure you'll be good at it. Just try, okay?
Gyuki sighed.
If you say so, Kurama, but only because I trust you.
And after that, the two left, leaving only Kushina and Naruto there with Kurama. Kurama jumped to Naruto's shoulder. Kushina smiled. You know, when Naruto was born, I knew you'd eventually favor him, she said. Kurama seemed a bit upset by her words.
I'm sorry, Kushina. It's not that I simply like him more, it's complicated. I still try to spend as much time as possible with you.
Kushina drew closer and gave a kiss to Naruto's cheek and then to Kurama's. It's okay, Kurama. Simply having a piece of you in me is enough. It still gives me connection to you. In a way, it's like we're still always together. Kurama licked her cheek, his way of offering a kiss.
You and Mito will always be my first Jinchurikis.
You two go home and rest. You've got a lot of work to do tomorrow. And so they left to go home, get supper, and get to bed early to catch up on a little sleep. The next day, they woke up and went downstairs to get breakfast. As they did, though, Naruto stopped to see his mother on the phone. She was saying something, but he couldn't make it out. I know he left school at about 4:30 yesterday. Naruto didn't wish to intrude, so he grabbed some toast and jam and began to eat it as he left the house to begin cleaning the Hokage monument. Naruto was glad he took his mother's advice to use easy clean paint. Honestly, Naruto began to think it wouldn't be a big deal just to wait until the next rainstorm to remove it, as that would definitely work. But considering that it might not rain for the next week or so, it was best just to clean it off now. And so, Naruto hung from the monument under supervision. With Kurama aiding him in chakra generation, Naruto began to form water nature chakra and spray it from his mouth like a pressure washer. After an hour, he was done cleaning off the monument, just in time for him to make it to class. As he waited in the classroom, he couldn't help but feel that something was missing. As he waited in the class, he wasn't able to tell what, but he couldn't shake the feeling. As they then went to do their extracurricular activities, Naruto met with 7 of the other Jinchuriki and Kushina. Strangely, Sasuke was missing. Now, it wasn't required for any Jinchuriki to attend this class. It was strongly suggested, but they could take time off. After all, school life was hard, and asking a child to dedicate more of the precious little time they had to some after-school club if they didn't want to go was just a bit too cruel. But the look on everyone's face was grave. Naruto couldn't help but wonder what was up. Kurama appeared on Naruto's shoulder and jumped into Kushina's lap. He had emotion sense, which meant he immediately knew something was wrong.
What is it? Kurama asked. Something's wrong.
Kushina then spoke. I received word today from Makoto Uchiha that Sasuke never made it home last night.
What? Is he okay?
Kurama asked. Kushina shook her head. We don't know. Fugaku is putting together a search party, and Minato is helping allocate resources to try and guess where he was.
That seems like a lot of effort to put toward one missing kid, Kiba said. Not that I'm saying anything, I hope they find him.
Shikamaru then cut in. The reason why they're focusing so hard on finding Sasuke is because he's a Jinchuriki. He has a very powerful beast inside of him, and if he's missing, so too is the beast. For all we know, another village has captured him, so they're going out looking for him. I wouldn't worry, Kushina said, trying to reassure all the children. We have the greatest trackers in the village searching for Sasuke. I'm sure he'll be okay. Kurama sat there and thought on these things. He had never seen such a thing happen before. Not in the previous timeline at least. In the previous timeline, the only time Sasuke went missing was when he joined Orochimaru, and Orochimaru was already dead, having been killed by Minato and Fugaku years earlier due to his ruthless experiments. There was no Akatsuki because Madara never turned evil, and that was because Kurama had killed that rivalry in the crib by stopping Indra from turning to evil. And because of that, Nagato would never have the Rinnegan. Kurama had sufficiently changed enough of history to change the course of the future. The question was, if Sasuke disappeared outside of his own volition, then who would have kidnapped him? Perhaps another nation. If that were so, why not try to take Naruto, who had the Nine Tails? After all, the Nine Tails was the strongest. Something didn't make sense. But all the same, Kurama decided to ignore it for now. It was equally possible that Sasuke simply disappeared because he was embarrassed that Matatabi had revealed his love of Neko ears. It would be highly irresponsible and frankly stupid if that were so, but considering that Sasuke was very young, it was possible that his emotions got the better of him. It was then that Kurama stood up on his hind legs and began to balance on one foot, keeping his front paws together.
All right, club. Today we're gonna try to stay healthy while connecting with each other. We're going to do yoga.
Is that where I gotta put my right hand on red and my left foot on green? Choji asked. No, idiot, that's Twister, Ino said. Kurama smiled.
We might play Twister later, too, if we've got enough time, and mats.
After all this, they went home. It was quite a troubling thing on their minds with Sasuke still missing. Minato came home late that night, somewhat upset, having not been able to find him. The next morning, the same routine continued. However, something else was wrong. By the time they got to the club, it became obvious to everyone there that something was still wrong. Neither Ino nor Shikamaru were present.
Don't tell me,
Kurama said.
These two disappeared too?
He asked. Kushina looked down with a sigh and rubbed her temples. I don't know what's happening, she said. Looking around, Kurama began to see some of the children getting riled up, beginning to panic. What if I'm next, was the thought on everyone's mind, and it was visible to Kurama just by looking at their faces.
What should we do?
Kurama asked. Kushina smiled at all of the kids. Just take a seat. Everything's gonna be okay. We are going to do our breathing exercises and try to refocus our minds. Minato called me just before the club met and asked me to hold you all here for the time being. He said he's going to send Anbu agents to personally escort each of us home. For now, we're to try our best to keep calm. Nothing bad is going to happen to anyone else. Lord Minato and Lord Fugaku will get to the bottom of this, and when they do, they'll rescue our missing teammates. When will the escorts be here? Sakura asked. Kushina took a deep breath and let it out. Probably very late. Much of our resources have been allocated to finding the others, but some resources should free up in a little while. So when they do, we'll be free to leave. Sound good? The kids nodded. And so from here, they just talked. Many of the kids were scared, quite a few silent. Hinata was the one most terror-struck of all. Are you okay? Saiken asked her. Hinata shook her head and hid her face. Tears began to pour down her cheeks. Sakura and Isobu drew closer, as did Kushina, Naruto, and Kurama. What's wrong with her? Choji asked in a hushed tone. Shino answered. When she was a little girl, shinobi from the hidden cloud attempted to kidnap her to take her eyes from her. She barely escaped alive, and her uncle had to die to keep peace between Konoha and Kumo, he said. Kiba then explained a bit more. She's been through something like this before. She's being forced to relive the most traumatic experience of her life. Choji understood and watched on in silence. In an uncharacteristically nice fashion, he came up to her and offered her some of his potato chips. I find that when I'm upset, food always helps. Maybe you could try some of my chips? She just shook her head. Kushina looked at the boy. Thank you very much, Choji. Hinata's just so upset, I don't think her body will allow her to eat right now. But you're a very kind boy to offer. Kiba watched her. Looking to Shino, he spoke. I know that Lord Minato and Fugaku are sending Anbu, but why don't we also escort her home? There is strength in numbers. If someone does come for her tailed beast, they'll have to go through you and me. Shino nodded silently, and so as night fell, eventually the Anbu would show up to escort the kids home. As it turns out, they were planning all along to drop the kids off one by one, as it would be easier that way, as the massive Anbu agents would not need to be split up. This would increase intimidation factor. Naruto and Kushina would get to go home first, and Sakura would be next. Finally, poor Hinata got to return to her clan. All that was left was Kiba, Shino, and Choji. As the three boys were returning home with the Anbu escort, they conversed. I hope they find Shikamaru and Ino soon, he said. It's gonna be real hard being just the Cho trio by myself. That's not a tree. You know what, never mind, Kiba said. Shino kept his eyes open the whole time. Do you really think we're all targets? Kiba asked. It seems that way. 1 is nothing, 2 is a coincidence, 3 is intentional. All the missing children the past 2 days have been Jinchuriki. There's a high chance this means that all Jinchuriki are under threat. As they walked further, there was a sound of shuffling feet and sliding roof tiles. The whole group stopped. Guys, I don't think we're alone. Naruto and Kushina entered their house to see the lights already on. Within, there were 3 shinobi. Naruto's eyes lit up as soon as he saw them. Aunt Rin, Uncle Obito, Uncle Kakashi. He ran over. He jumped into Obito's arms. Obito swung him above his head, nearly taken out the chandelier had Kakashi not pulled it just a few inches to the left. What's up, kiddo? Obito said. It's been so long, Naruto said. I know, but being a shinobi's hard work. Between missions, there's very little time off, and you need every second of it to be back to 100%. But the good news is, my next mission is you, Obito said. Really? Naruto asked. Yup, protecting you is now our priority, so that means a little more uncle-nephew bonding time. Awesome! I'll go set up the game console. I've been playing Wooden Gear Liquid 4, Kunai of the Loyalists. It's so fun, you gotta try it out. Not tonight, Kushina said. Maybe tomorrow. But Mom, Naruto shouted. Kushina shook her head. Sorry, Naruto, but tonight is a school night. You gotta hit the hay a little early. But tomorrow night you'll have all the time you want since it's the weekend. Naruto groaned. Why are we even having school tomorrow with all the kidnappings happening? Kushina let off a melancholic smile. Well, maybe just an hour will be okay, but after that you get to bed, alright? I'll bring you something up to eat in a moment. Naruto grabbed Obito's hand and began basically dragging him upstairs. Kushina walked to the fridge. Would you two like something too? They shook their heads. Any leads? She asked. Sadly not, Rin said. I don't understand it, Kakashi said. It's like these kids fell off the face of the earth. No trace of them in the village, no trace of them outside. Something just doesn't make sense. Have you been trying to get a hold of them through the Tailed Beast network, Rin asked. I have, but I haven't got anything but static, she said. I can't even contact Matatabi, Shukaku, or Kokuo, and they always answer anytime I try. I'm truly afraid that something bad has happened to them. After enough play, Naruto was left laying in his bed, Kurama resting on his chest. Obito looked back from the doorframe. You okay to sleep, he asked. Naruto looked over at Obito and smiled with a nod. Obito then proceeded to close the door behind him. Naruto gazed out the window. From there, he could see Kakashi taking up position across from him on the opposite rooftop. Naruto had been asked to leave his lamp on so Kakashi could see well inside of the room all night, and Naruto agreed. But as he laid there, despite being well protected, there was something gnawing at him. Are you okay? Kurama asked as he looked up at the boy. Naruto looked down at Kurama. Yeah, I'm just worried. Don't worry, Naruto. I will not let anything happen to you, I promise. Naruto began to pet Kurama's head. I know, but it's not me that I'm worried about. What happened to the others? Why can't we call them? Why didn't the other tailed beasts not try to protect their Jinchuriki? I've got so many questions. I understand, Kurama said, and I honestly don't know either. But we are going to keep trying to figure it out. Try not to worry too much. As Naruto sat there looking out the window, he spoke. I hope they're all okay. The next day, Naruto woke up to hear Minato and Kushina talking. We're canceling school for the foreseeable future. I can't have this keep happening. Naruto came out of the bedroom to see his parents. Minato and Kushina looked over and saw him. Oh, I'm sorry, bud. Did we wake you? It's about time for me to wake up anyway. Today's the last school day, he said. Minato looked to Kushina before looking back to Naruto. I'm sorry, Naruto, but school's canceled today. Last night, Shino, Choji, and Kiba all disappeared. Naruto's mouth fell open. But they had at least 7 Anbu shinobi with them. How'd it happen? Minato shook his head. I don't know. There were no survivors. All I know is that Suddenly there was a ring on his cell phone. Minato looked down at it. Sorry, this is work. I gotta take it. He moved into his bedroom, closed the door, and answered it. Kushina walked over to Naruto. Just go back to bed, honey, she said. Mom, I'm scared, he said. If 7 highly trained Anbu agents couldn't protect Shino, Choji, and Kiba, who's gonna protect me? I will, she said. Naruto's face grew pale. He began, but he stopped. He cleared his throat. I don't think that'll be enough. Moments later, Minato came out of the room. I just got a call from Fugaku. They found Kiba. Naruto's eyes widened. I gotta go, Naruto said as he ran back to his room to change. Minato stepped in. No, Naruto. With whoever's doing this still out there, you'll be putting yourself in danger. Naruto didn't stop putting his ninja clothes on. If even 7 Anbu agents can't protect 3 kids, do you think 3 standard Jonin can? I'll be safer with you. Not to mention, I need to check on Kiba and make sure he's okay. Minato went to rebuke his son, only for Kushina to stop him. He has a point, Minato. Right now, you may be the only one fit to protect him. You're the Hokage, the strongest shinobi in our village. If you can't protect him, then nobody can. Minato hated the idea, but he could see their logic. All right, fine. But if the going gets tough, you get out, all right? Naruto nodded. Naruto and Minato made their way to the hospital where Kiba was waiting. There, Minato tried to talk to him. Kiba, what happened to you? Where were you? Did you see anyone else? He asked. Kiba nodded. Yeah, last night there were 3 people who attacked us. Powerful people. They had lavender ringed eyes. They were quick, strong. I didn't know how to fight back. I couldn't. The battle was over quickly and we were taken. One by one, they started to take our tailed beasts from us. Shino, Choji, they're dead. How did you survive? Minato asked. I survived because right as they were trying to take Gyuki from me, he severed one of his tentacles and used it to balance out my chakra so my body didn't freak out and kill me. Minato understood. If you can, Kiba, can you tell me who you saw? Where you were? Kiba nodded. I was taken to a place not too far from here, a large stone quarry. He looked weakly at Minato. There was a man who was completely black, like a shadow, and the 3 helping them were Sasuke, Ino, and Shikamaru. Minato was surprised. You mean Sasuke, Shikamaru, and Ino are in on it? Kiba shrugged. It's possible they're under mind control. They didn't respond when I talked to them. And the monster, it seemed to envelop Sasuke's body. Minato nodded. He looked back at Kakashi. Inform Lord Fugaku that we know where the children are. We need to move quickly, before it's too late. I'm going too, Naruto said. Minato shook his head. No, I forbid it, Naruto. This was not part of the deal. But the others are in danger. I have to help them. Minato shook his head. I'm sorry, Naruto. Obito. Obito took Naruto by the shoulder. You'll have to forgive me, Naruto. It was then that Obito locked Naruto away in the Kamui dimension using his Mangekyo Sharingan. No! Dad! Naruto cried out. Nobody heard him though. Kurama spoke. Maybe this is for the best, Kurama said. How can you say that? Naruto asked. The things Kiba said, they told me exactly what's going on. There's a low chance any of your friends are alive. If the Rinnegan's involved, it's likely that even Shikamaru and Ino are dead, having simply become the 6-path puppets of their master. And who's their master? Naruto asked. It sounds like a creature known as Zetsu. In the world I came from, he was relentless in his desire to get all 9 beasts. Once he got them all, he unleashed the 10 Tails in an attempt to revive an ancient demoness. If you're not there, then it could be that your world is safe. But what about my father? What about my friends? Can they beat this Zetsu? Kurama looked away. I don't know. I need to go. We can help, Kurama. I can't let you, Kurama said. I'm sorry. Naruto hit his knees with tears in his eyes. Please, Kurama, you told me once that you knew me and that you were willing to die to save my life and that you would do anything, go through anything just to see me again. Please, I feel the same way about my father, about my aunts and uncles, about my friends. Please, I beg you, don't make me watch them die. It'll kill me if I have to. Kurama sat there for a moment. What was he supposed to do? There was nothing he could do, was there? The same feelings Kurama once had, Naruto now had. How much does this mean to you? Would you be willing to kill? Be willing to die the most painful death? Yes, because no death could be more painful than a life without those I love. Kurama sighed. All right, maybe I can get you out. From there, Kurama used his telepathy to connect to the minds of the other Jinchuriki, where he instructed them to use a specific contract he had made with the other tailed beasts to summon Kurama to them, and by extension, Naruto. When it was performed, Naruto met up with them and explained what was happening. Despite their fear, Hinata and Sakura made the fateful decision to follow Naruto into battle. And so the trio set out to fight Zetsu, and save at least the families that were going to die in battle. As soon as they made it to the quarry, they saw Shikamaru, Ino, Choji, and Shino, all fighting alongside the massive Geto statue.
You have to distract that statue, Kurama said. If you don't, it'll release its chakra dragons and devour the souls of all in its way.
Sakura and Hinata nodded, entering their version 2 chakra cloaks. Kurama, on the other hand, had something special in mind for Naruto.
I've been saving this for just such a special occasion. Please, use this power carefully.
Suddenly, Naruto entered Kurama chakra mode, and due to Kurama knowing how to use Sage mode, he stacked that on top, giving Naruto more chakra than he knew what to do with.
Use this power to defeat Zetsu,
he said. Naruto nodded. He began to run downhill. Minato saw the 3 Jinchuriki. Damn it! How did he get out of your Kamui? He asked Obito. Your guess is as good as mine, but knowing you, Lord Minato, he's probably proficient in space-time jutsu. Naruto ran down the hill where he struck Sasuke in the side of the cheek. Sasuke turned to look at Naruto, half his body covered in the black substance that was Zetsu. Zetsu spoke.
Well, if it isn't the Nine Tails, I'm glad you could make it. I was beginning to think I wouldn't be able to awaken the 10 Tails with you out of my reach, but it seems I was wrong.
Naruto tried to strike the black Zetsu with the Rasengan, but the Zetsu pushed it out of the way. Using the Ashura path granted him by Sasuke's Rinnegan, he formed a blade and swung it at Naruto, who barely dodged.
Kurama, I don't have the skill for this guy. There's no way I can beat him.
Kurama then spoke.
Switch with me.
Naruto agreed. From there, Kurama took control of Naruto's body. Using the 2,000 years worth of intelligence he had accumulated, he put Naruto's body to work fighting Zetsu.
How did you awaken the Rinnegan within Sasuke?
Kurama asked. Zetsu spoke.
A sufficient infusion of Hashirama Senju's cells was all it took to awaken the power of the 6 paths. But the 6 paths is not the only thing it awakened.
Suddenly, wooden pylons began to rise from the ground as the kanji for sit appeared on Zetsu's hand. Kurama recognized it immediately and jumped out of the way. Zetsu commanded the Geto statue's hide to fire wooden spikes from its back at Kurama. It was at about this time that Sakura jumped in the way, absorbing the strikes with the hard shell Ebisobu.
Thank you, Sakura,
Kurama said. No problem. Hitting the ground, Zetsu spoke.
You cannot stop this. You're destined to become one again with Mother.
The Rinnegan in his head shined as the statue roared. Suddenly, chains fired from it. Despite how much Kurama tried to dodge, he couldn't escape the chains. He, as well as Sakura and Hinata, were grabbed, and a brief moment later, Kurama was dragged out of Naruto. Kurama, gripping the ground, tried to resist being dragged away.
No! Naruto!
He cried out as he saw Naruto fall to the ground.
Kushina!
Kurama cried. A moment later, he was absorbed into the Geto statue. Kushina knew immediately when Naruto was in a bad position. At that moment, the 10 Tails began to awaken. The other shinobi were in disarray, not knowing what to do. The last vestiges of Kurama's power within Kushina kept him anchored here, not yet bonded to the 10 Tails.
Kushina, Naruto's dying, he shouted.
She came to him and knelt down by her son.
I don't know what to do,
Kurama said. Kushina thought about it. I do. She put her hand on Naruto, and but a few seconds later, it was done. She had transplanted the remainder of Kurama's chakra. Naruto gasped back to life.
Kushina!
Kurama cried. Kushina smiled. I know I was never the one you came back for, she said. But all the same, I'm glad I got to meet you. She then fell over, breathing her last. Mom! Naruto cried. Looking back, she saw Sasuke and Zetsu. In Naruto's anger, he attempted to attack Zetsu, but was pushed back. Even with all the powers of the 9 Tails, you could do nothing. What makes you think you could do anything now? In but a few moments, the 10 Tails will be ready. And when it is, the infinite Tsukiyomi will begin, and Mother will be reborn. You cannot stop it now. Naruto thought for a moment. Do you think you could wake Sasuke up if you were inside of him? He asked.
I could disrupt the Genjutsu, but I can't. I'm not in Sasuke. Wait, no, Naruto, don't! You just got revived by your mother. I can't lose you both.
Naruto spoke. There are some things you can't stop, Kurama. Some things have to happen. And right now, if I have to die to save my world, that's what I'll do.
No, Naruto!
Naruto began to run towards Zetsu again. Zetsu, once more using the Ashura path, attempted to burn Naruto to ashes by forming a flamethrower from Sasuke's arm. Naruto dove out of the way just quickly enough. Rushing in, he put his hand on Sasuke and transferred the small piece of Kurama to Sasuke before falling down dead. A moment later, Sasuke opened his eyes. With all the power of his will, he broke free from Zetsu, turned, and burned him to pieces with the flamethrower his arm had formed. The Ten Tails, having lost its master, began to thrash about until the pure will of all 9 beasts within overwhelmed it, shattering it to pieces. The tailed beasts landed nearby, all save Kurama, who, due to being sealed into Sasuke, proceeded to re-manifest his full form inside of him. Sasuke knelt down to Naruto and lifted him up in his arms. "Naruto," he said, tears forming in his eyes. "Why did you have to die?" Sasuke began to think back to all the fuzzy memories. Shino, Shikamaru, Choji, Ino, Sakura, Hinata. It's all my fault. Kurama watched on with tears in his eyes. How could he let this happen? He let Naruto go, thinking that doing so would help save his family. Kurama had gambled everything on the chance that he could save everyone, and now he'd lost it all. Or so he thought, until he remembered. "How can I live with myself?" Sasuke asked.
Sasuke, it's not your fault. Someone misused you, but I can set it right. I just need you to give me control."
Sasuke nodded. Kurama took control. Holding Naruto in his arms, he spoke.
"Naruto, I wish we could have had more time together, but I suppose this is the best either of us could have hoped for. I want you to live on without me. Be happy, have a family, and remember that wherever you are, I'll be thinking of you."
And with that, Kurama cast Samsara of Heavenly Life, using his own life as a sacrifice for the technique, bringing back all of the shinobi who had died fighting Zetsu, as well as all the Jinchuriki who had perished with the removal of their tailed beasts. Kurama couldn't speak, or even say goodbye to Naruto, but he could see without sound, as Sasuke explained what Kurama had said to him. He saw the tears in Naruto's eyes as he grabbed Sasuke by the collar. "No, Kurama, don't go, please!" Kurama wished to offer comfort, but it seemed as though he would not be afforded that luxury, not this time. Kurama felt the darkness growing, and as he closed his eyes one final time, he saw a light calling to him, the voice of someone he knew. Kurama, was it the sage? Or Naruto? Was Kurama once more being reborn? Or was he passing on to heaven? And if the former, was he going back in time? Or ahead? He did not know. But he did know was that he was pleased that everything had turned out well. And no matter what lay beyond the light that called his name, he knew for sure he would always carry Naruto with him. Even in death, their bond was unbreakable. And because of that, Kurama forged on into the light. And that's where I'm gonna call it. Yeah, kind of a sad ending, sure, but you know, y'all like this concept so much, I thought, what if I leave it open? You know, just in case you want more from it. If you really like this video, then maybe I'll say that Kurama was sent back in time once again at the end of his death, and maybe we can tell a longer, more satisfying story with more parts. But that's really up to you guys. If this video smashes records, y'all like, comment, and subscribe, because as said earlier, only 25% of our viewers actually do that, then maybe we'll continue this and see Kurama go through a new cycle. But that's up to you.